All right, brand babies. This is going to be the wrap up of the season. So the next 10, I think 10 or 11 episodes, I'm going to be having podcast guests. Can't even get it out. But I'm going to be having podcast guests. And it would only make sense that the man who lives in the house with me should be my first guest. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's under my eye, and it ain't his cuteness. But I want y'all to stay tuned and we're gonna talk about some things. We have been working together for some years. We ain't working together technically right now, but we're gonna get into some different stuff. But stay tuned because y'all gonna get to hear me talk to my husband, and hopefully I don't talk to him sideways. It's coming.
Hey, brand babies. This is Brandma's podcast, where we go in on personal branding without taking shit personally. Brandma's house is hosted by none other than the ghetto country grandmother. She's here to share her experience, expertise, and education in a way that takes you from brand baby to brand leader. So come on in and hold on to your bourbon because Brandma's about to spill the tea.
All right, brand babies, we're gonna get on into this because I get to talk to my husband, my ride or die, my all the good things and all that stuff. But we're talking about business today. And we had a business together for over 10 years within the food industry. And one of the things that we both had a challenge with, me more than him, so it's surprising that I do this, but me more than him, is letting go of our past personal brands. Back then, Neil was known as Big Mista and I was Mrs. Mista. Y'all can Google that shit and spell it right. It's spelled Bigmista, no spaces, and see how popular we were, if nothing else, within California. Yes, we did a whole lot of shit, but that's not what I'm here for. Like I say, we're going to talk about the challenges of personal branding, especially when you live with a brand strategist and your husband don't listen to you. Don't listen to you. Y'all see him rolling his eyes, but we're going to get into this. Hey, baby.
Hi. She didn't tell y'all. My name is Neil Strawder. I thought she, I thought she was building up an introduction or something for me, but hi,
Now, here's the thing. I usually let folks introduce themselves, so go ahead and finish.
I'm Neil. Hey, I'm Neil Strada, also known as Hospitable Vox. I am a voice actor and voiceover artist, and I work. Uh, my niche, I guess what you say, is the hospitality industry. I speak food, booze, and travel.
Because evidently you can't say shit else.
I can't say nothing else.
Now, for y'all that usually tune in, y'all can see I am doing hoodies and husband today. Y'all know I don't rock no hoodie, but my husband got his on, so I put mine on. So, and we both love alliterations because that was what? Hoodies, husband, and I had another H in there earlier, but it's gone. It's gone. Y'all know I'm older, so I don't pay it no mind. But babe,
Say that.
huh?
I would never say that. That
See,
you're old.
don't make this personal. Do not make
I,
this personal.
I
This is
just said I
personal
would
branding.
never say that you're old.
Neil kiss my ass and let's move on. So, Neil, when I met him, his friends had been calling him Big Mista forever and a day. And I know he likes to tell this story. Neil, how did you get the name Big Mista in the first place?
Well, I don't necessarily like to tell you, but anyway, um, when I first moved back to California from Texas, my standard greeting was, "Hey, Mister, what's on your mind? What's on your mind, Mister?" And folks started greeting me that way, and then it got shortened to "Hey, Mister," and then, well, the big is kind of obvious. It just got added on, so I became Big Mister. I was Uncle Mister and all the other Misters, but Big Mister is the one that stuck.
Okay. And how did you feel when we closed down the restaurant and you
Ooh, that was a
decided?
big jump.
Yes, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. I mean, I want the beginning and the end, and we're gonna fill in the middle. Stop
Okay.
messing with my stuff. This
Do
is
your thing. I'm sorry. I
you are
thought I
so
was
not sorry. You
I
just
thought I thought I was supposed to talk. What did you ask me?
yeah. This is why we don't work together anymore. Because my thing that I asked you is I jumped to, as you put
Mhm.
it, was how did it feel to let that go? Because I know even after we closed the restaurant, you didn't fully let it go. But when you decided to jump into a new industry? How did it feel to let that go?
In a lot of ways, it was a relief because we was doing a lot of hard work. So I got tired of all the other stuff that didn't involve cooking, all the inventory and employees and health department, insurance, all that stuff. I got tired of all that stuff and I never got to cook, which is why we opened the restaurant in the first place because I love doing barbecue. And I almost never got to do it again. So it was kind of a relief to close it.
Okay, now here's the thing. Now you just told me I made a jump. I asked you, how was it to give up the personal brand of Big Mista? And you was
That's
talking
not
about
what you asked me. How did it feel to close the restaurant? That's just what you asked
We're
me.
gonna go back and listen to this. Okay, then let me rephrase the question. How did it fit? How did it feel to let go of Big Mista after we closed the restaurant?
Don't know that I ever really let go of it. Um, Still people call me that. It's what I'm known by in a lot of places. I don't know that I ever let go. I stopped promoting it. I don't think I ever let go of it. Um,
So do you think it has its old meaning of just you being Big Mister, being the hey Mita?
yep, I was right. I'm still Big Mista, but I'm trying to move it in a different direction because I plan to move in different circles. So
Okay.
that's kind of, I guess, is that a rebrand? Is that what I'm doing?
For you, Hospitable Vox is a rebrand, yes.
Okay.
So
Woo! I knew something.
but to move in it in let me go back. To be the Big Mister always. I don't think that's ever gonna go away, but
Mhm.
it's not a brand anymore. It's more back to a moniker and a nickname. Would you say that?
I'd agree with that.
But you still do a lot of cooking shit on your TikTok that you use real Big Mister for. So is it still that's what I'm asking, is it still technically somewhat of a brand to you, or is it just, it's just my name on TikTok?
Um,
Am I
See,
making skin hurt?
yeah, you always do that. Um, I guess I don't have a well-defined or a good definition of a brand as opposed to the name that you're known by to be able to say one way or another. And I'm hoping you're gonna help me with that.
Baby,
Mhm.
how long have I been helping you with that?
Hopefully, you'll be able to help me with that in a way that I understand instead of asking me a bunch of questions that I don't know the answer to.
'Cause here's the thing, y'all. My husband is not deep. And personal branding is kind of you have to dig a little deeper if you know what you want your message to be and all that kind of stuff. And because we're married, Neil will listen to me for about 10 good minutes business wise, but then all of a sudden I become his wife and it's like, when's she gonna shut the fuck up? He never says that out loud, don't get it twisted. But that's
Because I live here.
yeah, you live here. You want to keep living here.
Mhm.
But he gets the whole glazed over look. And then there are other times where we're having a conversation and he's starting to get it. And he will actually sit down and listen to me. You gonna make me cuss at you on screen. But he will. He'll sit down and he'll listen to me and he'll get part of it. But the reason it's taking so long to do his particular brand is it is because we are married. And it is that whole husband and wife dynamic that we have a tendency to fall into. But then also, my husband's attention span when it comes to this is about that long. But it's not to say that he doesn't want to step into the brand of the hospitable box. And I don't want to speak for him. Am I wrong? Am
No,
I right?
I'll cut you off if you go wrong.
Okay. So then what is the hardest part of what I talk about for you to understand?
I guess the difference between branding and marketing and how to get it done, how to use the brand to market and marketing your brand. I get confused all in there.
Do you get confused, or is it that when I explain it, you just don't want to do it because it's a lot of work? Because we both know we got a lazy vibe, so
Oh,
you can own that part
oh,
too.
okay. I can then, yeah, because all that's a pain in the ass.
Okay. So then if it's a pain in the ass, and this is a lot of people, they don't want to do the work of branding and marketing. So, and y'all, just so y'all clear, my whole job within the marriage part of this is to make Neil a trophy husband. So he's not trying to worry about making money anyway.
I'm trying to help you make money so I don't have to.
So do you think that has a role to play in it why you don't listen to me more or do some of the things that I say? Or does it go back to how we were in our business? It's like she handles this part. Just let me go cook some food and look cute on camera. Is that what you wish it was?
No, I mean, I wanna do stuff too. I mean, I don't know. I like it's hard to describe. I like doing the stuff on the camera.
Hmm.
I don't mind doing that. I hate to write, you know that.
Yes.
And a lot of it involves writing this and doing this and all, and that's just not my forte. Well, if you need, then you ask me, well, you got to have a brand. Well, who's your target audience and what do they think? I don't know what they think.
Baby, I've told you for years who your target audience is.
I know old women.
That's not how I put it. Some old woman gonna come slap
It
you.
wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time. Uh, Older women.
Older. Okay, you gonna try and fix it. Too late. They didn't heard you now.
Yeah, okay. Um, but yeah, I mean, you ask a lot of questions. What is your what's the word archetype, and how are we going to fit your archetype into?
Okay.
You say
Again, Neil Patrick,
yes.
I've told you what your archetype is.
Hmm.
What is it?
Every man.
And what else?
I'm a lover.
See, you remember, but you won't apply it. Big head so and so.
Apparently, there's a little joker in that too.
But the thing about it, especially with because what Neil wants to do is he wants to attract more marketing professionals who are looking for voiceover artists. He wants to do more audio branding, but
Mhm.
he's getting jobs for other things. They're just not all within the realm of food, booze, and travel, which
Right.
is his go-to. And one of the reasons why he became the Hospitable Vox, like I say, hospitality is in Neil's genes. His mama and daddy were the epitome of hospitality. So it doesn't even have anything to do with the fact that we owned restaurants. But to get him to understand how to use that to his advantage as part of his personal brand is the big challenge. Because, like I say, dude just wants to show up. And one of the reasons why we had this whole let's just stay married today vibe was because we operated by the seat of our pants because Neil was like, baby, I'm gonna do a special today. It's like, dude, you don't do specials the day of the special. But
Hmm.
he would
Apparently, I
not
did.
he would not market in advance to do that thing, or he'd want to do burn-ins that day. And he'd wait till the weekend of, and then because we actually had a phone tree for people who wanted burn-ins.
Mhm.
And there was that kind of thing. But to get people to hire him for audio branding and voiceover, it's like, okay, baby, how are you leading them there? And it's the leading part. 'Cause y'all, Neil explained to me years ago. He said, "I'm a team player." He's not necessarily the leading type. Has that changed for you? Am I getting that wrong?
No, that sounds about right.
And so you'd rather be
Where
on
I'd help the team grow.
okay. So you'd rather be on a team than lead the team? Is that a fair statement?
A lot of times, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have to be the one. I mean, I don't mind being the one in front if I got a team behind me. because I don't want to let my team down.
Okay.
If my job is being up front, being on the camera, saying what needs to be said, I'll do that because that's my role.
But now
But
because you're doing this on your own, it's harder?
yeah, because there's stuff that I don't want to do, like writing.
I mean, you don't have to write. You just have to
Right.
understand. If you think that, because one of the things I tell you, like, I know the difference in your voiceover voice and your real voice.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are certain things that when you're trying to do just your own shit, that you sound forced because you're trying to be humorous and you're trying to be this, that, and the other instead of just letting it be. You're funny all by yourself. That's a given. But when you try to force the funny, it's like,
Mhm.
dude, we take that, do that over. That was not right.
Okay.
And okay. And since you say this and you're reiterating that you will be the voice of the team, how do I get you to do that? How can I get you to understand that your audience is your team and you need to be out front and leading them?
I don't know.
How
See,
would a coach
so I
do it?
told you about asking questions I don't know how to answer. I don't know how to do it.
How did your Coach Mays was your favorite person? How could I be Coach Mays to your team of voiceover world type shit?
I don't know. 'Cause Coach Mays said, Neil, football, put on your helmet, go over there and run through that wall. I take off, I go run through the wall. You told me what to do, I did it. You don't tell me what to do.
Because I don't want to anymore.
There's the issue.
So it's my fault that you
It's all your fault.
So if you had someone that was you gonna have to pay me more, and I don't mean just cooking for me. If I had to do this all over again, because y'all just so you guys get a little bit more background, Neil and I got into the food business because I said, "Baby, you need to go cook for a living."
Sorta, yeah.
Okay, what's your version? Because y'all, our versions never match. What's your version?
We were I was cooking and I got into doing competitions and stuff like that. And she came to me and she said, "Hey, your competitions are cutting into my shoe money. You need to go sell some of this food, do something to make some money to cover your competitions."
It
And
wasn't just the competitions, but
yeah,
finish.
it was your shoe. It was the practice too. I know you.
Keep on. Go and tell your version.
No, that's the truth. I had to start sell. So she said, "Why don't we sell some dinners?" Okay, so we started selling dinners at her job and my job, and
Which
it
were
started
technically
growing.
lunches, but go ahead.
Dinners, lunches, whatever you want to call them. And then we started getting catering jobs, and then somebody had the bright idea. You know what? We should go sell at the farmers market. Yes, that was you. And so we got a trailer together and all our stuff, and went started selling at the farmers market. Well, the word got out, and we started getting um, calls to come to other farmers markets. Next thing you know, we're at farmers markets 6 days a week. And somebody said, "You
And
know
who
what?
got to quit their job?
I quit first."
Yeah, it took me 2 years to be able to quit though.
You wasn't really trying though.
No, technically I was told to quit by my boss. But
Mhm.
anyway, so is it in our dynamic of me being that always saying, you know what, you need to do this, you need to do that.
And the thing about it was, I didn't have issues with it because you were right.
Y'all heard that, right?
I have no problem saying when you were right. You told me what needed to be done, and I did it. If I'm not with something, I'll tell you in a minute. No, that's not cool. No, no. We should do this instead. No, I don't necessarily say you wrong again because I live here. Um, but there are times, you know, but most of the time you're right. I was it's one of the reasons we don't argue that much because
I'm
either
usually right.
you're right, or
You just trying to stay married today?
Yeah, sometimes. Just trying to stay married.
Wait,
I
can I
ask
tell you
myself,
something?
is this worth the argument?
The word thing, let me work.
I'm trying to stay in this non-blurry area.
And that's what I was about to tell you, because you getting on my nerves. Move that mic thing handle down out the way, because it's like cutting off your face.
There. Is that better?
Yes, I think so. Until you lean your head to the other way. All right, silly man. All right, you're fine. So it's since you're not paying me, and since I want to stay married and not technically work with you anymore, what is it that you need from me in order to make this happen? If I told you that you had to do something, you had to create this funnel of promoting this particular service, because I know one of the things that you did for a minute was the Friday bucket list, and I
Mhm.
thought that was really great. And you put out an offer to do voiceover for people's, like, putting together their videos and all of that kind of stuff, and doing
Mhm.
voiceover for it to
Mhm.
give them like their own little short films of their bucket list.
Right.
But you had no way, you didn't create anything to lead up to that. You just, like you always do, you just plopped it down. It's like, pay me to do this.
I don't know how to make this any clearer. I don't know how.
Okay. So
You
like
say,
I was
"You need to
about,
make a funnel, you need to market ahead of time." How?
okay, Neil, if I
You
wrote,
throw stuff at me and expect me to know it, and I don't. And I'm cool with admitting that. I don't know how.
okay, you don't know how, but you also won't listen. So then how do we fix it?
Give me steps. Say, "Do this step first, then do this step, then do this
Okay.
step."
We did the short market research step. How long did that last? One day. Alright. Have you done it again since?
I don't remember what that was.
You don't remember the market research?
What was the
You
market?
remember when I told you to look people up on LinkedIn and then go find their, other social media accounts?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've done a few of those. Not a lot.
You've done them since that day I suggested it?
Yeah. I was just looking up some people the other day. Um, it was a company, well, I ain't gonna say, well, no need to say the company, but I was looking them up.
Mhm.
And I was trying to find who the producers were and who the directors were and stuff like that. Trying to find them on LinkedIn and going through their website and stuff like that.
Okay. And you couldn't find them?
I found some people, yeah.
So then if, because the thing that would start to make me think is that if the marketers that you're trying to find are hard to find, then that could become part of your messages. Like, you know what? If you're talking about audio branding from a certain standpoint, then it's like, you know what? It's hard for me to find leads. Maybe it's hard for you as well.
Mhm.
So when you're trying to figure out who your target audience is and they're not making themselves easily accessible, what do? You audio brand.
Okay.
Okay, what?
I don't know. You just left that hanging out there. I was waiting for you to extrapolate.
Extract. Oh God, stop trying to use your $5 word. But the thing, then that's what I'm saying. That can become content. And it's like now that you know, like the challenge for you is finding people who you actually, the ideal clients, which everybody's trying to get. I'm more about an audience than a client because I figure my ideal client resides in the audience. But the thing that you can do is like I say, make that part of the message. People have a people have a hard time finding ideal clients. So audio branding gives voice to that in a way that, you know what, they'll come listen even if they won't come look. So you can turn that into a whole ass message that now becomes part of a solution for someone. It's like if you're trying to find your ideal clients and they don't want you to find them, But because most of the times when we're on social media, the people that actually buy from us are not the people that engage with us.
Okay.
So if we know that that's true and you can't find them, then you can classify them as a group. You know what? I'm talking to the social media managers today because you guys need to get some voiceover into your clients' brand architecture or something like that. You need to bring, so you're classifying the group because you can't seem to narrow down the people within it to find certain specifics. But
Yeah.
then as you begin to attract certain clients that you do or do not like, the ones that you like, now you can call out certain aspects that you like. You know what? If you're a social media manager who likes to have fun, don't mind a good joke every now and then, but still wants to get some shit done, then I'm the one for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of. What did I miss?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to think of how to apply what you're saying.
Okay.
Um, because I know I need to talk to more than social media managers. I need
Mhm.
to ad agents and marketing
Okay.
agencies and stuff like that.
So that's where segmenting comes in. You segment your audience based on the type of content that you're putting out. So if you know you need more than social media manager, if you want to talk to an advertising agency, it's like, you know what? If you're an ad agency, tell me what you look for in an audio brand. And you can even turn that into a poll on LinkedIn. So if you're doing it as a poll, now you're getting some feedback on what we're looking for. And you can, like I say, you can better apply your particular version of the brand to respond to that if you want to. Because I'm all about your brand staying true to you first. If
Yes.
these people are telling you to do shit that does not align with how you want to do business, then take it with a grain of salt and move on. But if you go, like I said, if someone answers you and you see their LinkedIn profile and then you go check out their other social media that is more friend and family friendly, and you see that you're like, this look like cool dude. I think we can work together. So then you start to incorporate maybe just one thing within your own personal brand that aligns with that so that you attract more people like that.
Okay.
Am I making your head hurt?
No more than
It-
usual.
No more unusual. But I mean, do you see what I'm getting at? Did you have to write any of that down?
No, I'm gonna go back and watch all this.
Okay, you're gonna go back and watch all this. Yo, my husband don't even listen to my podcast, so that's saying something.
I listen to some of your podcasts.
Okay, if you
Mhm.
say so.
About as much as Martin listened to Frasier.
There's always a caller from Tacoma.
Introducing Branding Boundaries and Bullshit by the one and only Brandma, Phyllis Williams Strawder. Hey, you there. Are you tired of all the boring personal branding stuff? Well, my mom, Brandma, has got you covered with her awesome new book. In this game changer, Brandma doesn't play by the rules. She's a rebel who says you don't have to fake it to make it. No more being a people pleaser, because it's time to get real. Look, my mom's been there, done that, just like Pitbull, except she was a multi-million-dollar restaurant owner. She's got all the stuff to let you know what's real and what's just okie doke. This book isn't for the corporate crazy. It's for the courageous, the genuine, and the unapologetic. It's about putting you first and not some fake customer pleasing it, because this is not the circus. Branding Boundaries and Bullshit is like a fist pump to those who refuse to conform. It's your map to discovering your YO uniqueness and owning it. So just the BS and start branding on your own terms. Get Brandma's book now and let your true self shine through.
But
Huh?
with everything that you're doing and that you want to do, because I know you're kind of fickle. You could be a fickle female if you tried, but
Stop it.
huh?
Nope. No, I
Nope. Okay. I know some women gonna hate me for saying that too. So whatever, it is what it is. Um, what?
I'm not a fickle woman.
I didn't say you were a fickle woman. I said you could be in your tendencies, not in your demeanor.
Nope.
Whatever, man. But you are fickle in what you want to do because you like what you like. But you
Well,
want
that's true.
you want but the thing about it
Fickle.
is, huh?
It's not fickle.
That's not fickle?
No,
Baby, how many different jobs have you had over your lifetime?
I don't know. You got a calculator?
No.
Then I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Can you name 5?
Oh, sure.
Name 5.
Uh, I have been I've been a janitor. I've been a bodyguard. I've been a stockbroker. I have been um a bouncer. I've been a DJ. I've been a bartender. Should I keep going or
Yeah, because you said one of them twice, but it in all of those things,
Mhm.
none of them were actually what you ever wanted to do in life. Am I
No,
right?
no.
What do you wanna do?
Travel, drink, and eat.
Okay. So that makes being the hospitable box a viable thing for you.
Mhm.
But the thing about it, and the thing I think a lot of people miss is that just because you're marketing doesn't mean that you can enjoy those things as well. Because I do know you speak food. You can pronounce dishes when you can't even speak the language
That's
because
true.
you speak food.
That's true.
And so the thing about branding is that you don't always have to be on brand in that you're constantly talking about the brand, but you can be on brand in that, you know what? We talked about you. I'm chasing flavors. So the flavor that you're chasing today is still on brand, even if it's not about a pitch or a marketing thing. It's like, you know what? I get to chase flavors as part of my job, as part of my work. And that gets to become content because it's still on brand, if it, even though technically it's not you trying to be a brand at that time. It crosses the barrier of life brand and business. Food is your life. I know you've been cooking for me for the last 20 something years. It's
Yes.
also brandable because you have owned a restaurant. Half the dudes you know are barbecue pit masters, more than half.
Mhm.
They're barbecue pit masters, so it's still a part of your life.
Yep.
Um, and
Chefs
it
too.
was your
Chefs
business.
too.
So food has always is and like I said, going back to your parents, Pat and Pop,
Mhm.
Sweetie, hospitality has always been there for you. We talk about how Pop used to read culinary magazines or recipes like most people read novels.
Yep.
Your mom cooking for the football team because you know what? Get your asses in here, and it is hospitality is what you are. It's not just what you do. So helping people understand that and bringing the story vibe to it, like when we talk about Pop and your mom, and you tell me the pink pot story with the hot dogs, and yeah, you guys watching the parade in the rain with the garage door open, the whole football team sitting around them big spools they used to hold the wires for the electrical. Your mama
Yeah.
done turned it into a table with some pillows, and the whole football team is sitting there eating.
Yep. That's where we
Those are your stories.
Mhm.
And you get to tie that. It's like, this is why it's so easy for me to speak about food, booze, and travel because, baby, I've been doing this for as long as I remember. So everything doesn't have to be, you know what, how do I stay on brand today? Because it is just what it is. Food is it's your shit. It's your jam.
That
What?
that just didn't quite work. I know what you meant, but it just didn't quite work.
What? The shit and jam?
No, food
What?
is your shit.
See, why'd you have to go there?
You said it. I was like, "Yeah, I know where you was going with that, but that one didn't quite
But then so is booze. You just said, you know what, you used to be a bartender.
Mhm.
So you get to speak that as well. You and Pop used to go on jazz cruises all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that, oh baby, all of those can be incorporated in, you know what? I remember this, but now you just apply them to what you do. If I was to do a voiceover for this, if I was to do a audio brand for this, having actually had the experience, you get to apply a unique voice to it because you know what? I've been on jazz cruises. And when I look and see how they advertise and I listen to it, it does not resonate with me because of this. So now you get to showcase your expertise.
Yeah.
And so you get to find content that you can comment on that shows your authority in these areas. Now, the thing about both of us, I think, because we see restaurants, because we recognize what we did wrong, is like I said, we know we left millions on the table.
Mhm.
But we can now look back and look at all these other independent restaurants and how they're jacked up because we recognize that they're going based on concept rather than brands, but don't none of them want to listen to us.
Yeah.
Because we know that, you know what, if you had a brand, it would outlast the concept.
Right.
But you want to sit here and you want to hustle out pictures of food and try to make people hungry. You know why we go out to dinner? Because Neil don't want to cook. That's the only reason we go.
That's it.
Because anything that I could get at a
Well,
restaurant, more than likely Neil can make it better.
well,
So
the other reason, well, for me, not for you, but for me, I go if I'm going somewhere, I want to go to try something that I haven't made or don't know how to make.
yeah.
So it's not in my normal repertoire. That's a reason for me to go somewhere. And
Okay, then riddle me this.
if I can make it, I'll make it at the house
Riddle me this, baby. Why you always trying to make me eat other people's barbecue?
because I just like trying other barbecue. And barbecue takes a long time. You know that.
And good barbecue takes a long time.
Yes.
Some of this shit they be producing and trying to store is like, oh God, no. I would rather go to a barbecue place that's gonna run out than one that still has a lot of food at the end of the day.
Yep.
And you know why?
Yes. And I try to find barbecue that you can count on. At least you know what it is. Like the barbecue we had the other day wasn't bad, but it was just it was like we got the baked potato and you got a sandwich and stuff like that. But it wasn't bad. It was good restaurant barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't mind going back there. But there's some places that try to do too much. It's some that's you know
Bougie barbecue should not be a
bougie.
thing.
Yeah, they charge way too much. And oh, we got the special Wagyu A5. Barbecue is taking bad meat and making something good out of it. And
Mm.
sometimes they just go too far for me. I'd rather just have some good barbecue.
You know, before go ahead, baby. Finish what
I
you're
was
gonna
gonna say, when I first started talking about doing barbecue, I wasn't trying to be famous doing it, nothing like that. I just wanted a shack and put the meat on, and I could be sitting in the corner somewhere with some friends playing dominoes while we waiting for customers to come in. With a Wonder Bread sign on the screen door that's half torn up. I was fine with that. One of them old Coke machines, and that was always barbecue to me. All the fancy places now, I didn't see that growing up.
yeah. And it's now like I say, because part of branding is also pricing.
Yeah,
Pricing is how you position your brand. And one
right.
of the things you bitch about now is the price of food when we dine out.
Mhm,
Not always, but you do have a tendency.
mhm,
Now, one of the things that we felt victim to, and I say fall victim to, yes,
mhm,
that we had to get over is people are constantly talking about the profit margins of restaurants.
mhm.
Now, knowing that and knowing how hard we worked and the food costs and all of that stuff, how is it that you can bring yourself to fuss about prices at restaurants?
Because I can. You can fuss about it, but let me tell you, I don't have to go. That's the thing. I don't fuss at them. I just look at it and say, okay, that's more than I'm willing to pay. I don't go. It's
But
more
if
than I can afford. I don't go. I don't try. I don't go there and fuss at them about their prices.
no, you come in here and fuss at me.
I don't fuss at you. I just show you. I just say, hey, we're not going here. It's too expensive.
So if
Live with it. You
what
live with me.
yeah. So then for any folks who have restaurants that are listening, what would entice you to go to a restaurant that charges more than the average restaurant? What could entice you to go?
Um, One, they're doing something that I'm not doing at home.
Okay.
That's one thing. Like I say, I I can appreciate some things take more time. I can appreciate some things take more effort, but you know, charging me $20 for 2 eggs and two pieces of toast, that don't work for me. You at least need to be making some kind of special bread or or
But
something.
baby, that's
Doing
gonna
something.
cost them more.
What I'm saying is I don't believe it costs that much for what the price that they have.
Okay, I agree with you.
I don't have a problem paying more for stuff where I know that there's an effort or there's some special product and something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Baby.
For regular stuff that I can make at home, I don't see a need to pay for that. I can do that at home.
Okay. So
Because
then,
seeing as to how much I shop, I know how much stuff costs, and I know that it's even cheaper when you're buying in bulk. I know what stuff costs. I guess that's my problem. I know how much you should be paying for this and how much you charging it. And even factoring in employees and overhead and stuff like that, you charging a pretty big you getting a pretty big profit margin on that.
I
And
agree.
I'm not saying don't do that. If that's your business plan, don't do that. I'm just saying I don't have to support that. I don't have to go there.
You are 100% right.
Mhm.
But here's the thing, in knowing what you know,
Mhm.
like I said, you're not willing to pay $20 for eggs, toast, and bacon.
Mhm.
But rents have gone up since we've closed. Rents
Yeah,
are crazy. Commercial rents are ridiculous.
I agree with
Triple
that.
nets are ridiculous.
Yes,
People want to get paid better because working in the kitchen is not easy work.
I
It
understand
will-
all that too. And like I said, I don't have a problem with them charging that. I have a problem with me paying for it.
Okay.
That's what the problem is. I'm not willing to pay for that.
So do you think that restaurants who are that could promise you an experience, even if they didn't change the way necessarily that they cook eggs, toast, and do you
Mhm.
think their strategy, do you think they can brand in such a way to show you value of a $20 plate of eggs, bacon, and toast?
I guess it's possible. Like, I don't know. Do you remember the Gardens of Texaco?
Of course I do. It was born in the sauce.
That's right. I didn't have a problem paying for that because it was an experience as well as the food was good, but it was an experience. All the waiters they knew everything on the menu. They could take your orders without writing it down. They knew everything on the menu. They all had the spiel for stuff, and everybody knew it, and everybody participated and stuff like that. The guys coming around playing the music and all that kind of stuff. So that was an experience. But if there's no experience, it's just regular stuff, but you're charging more, or like some of these places I see up in Houston, they want to charge you $20 just to park, and then you got to pay a cover charge to come in to eat. Kiss my ass on all that. That ain't happening. I mean, apparently it might be working for them because they're surviving, but no, I mean that's just too much. That's outside of what I'm willing to pay for.
Okay.
I just want to go to a restaurant, have a nice experience, and have a nice meal. Done well, I'll pay for it. I'll tip well. I have no problem with that. But there are things I see now that look like people are gouging. They're charging even more than what should be charged.
And the staff is still making shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I don't support that. And I
Yeah.
won't. I mean, and the only way I know how to talk is with my dollars.
No, that's right, baby. I
Yeah.
got you right
So
there.
I don't have to fuss at you. I just don't have to go there.
So then, and just going through all of this, part of like one of the main reasons that I went into doing strategic branding is because I wanted to help restaurants.
Mhm,
Because I figured if I could change the mind of someone like you to pay $20 for a plate
mhm.
based on a brand and not a concept, then that's a restaurant that's winning. And it's the whole closure thing in that restaurants really don't have any brand loyalty. There are very few restaurants that have built up a loyal following.
Mm.
We had it when we were in the markets more so than when we had the restaurants.
Yeah,
Because we pull in somebody, one of our regulars, and it's like, come help us. We got too long the line, and then we feed them for free. Can't do
yeah,
it in the restaurant though. Don't do that,
no,
y'all.
no.
But
Um, that was, but it became like I've heard you said it before. we became the brand, not the restaurant. People were coming to see us.
Yeah, and that was
They,
becoming
they,
a problem.
they wanted to hear us putting, it was a show for them. We back there fussing and doing stuff like that. They came to see us. I mean, the food was good. They enjoyed the food. If the food wasn't good, they wouldn't come back. But
Yeah.
we were the experience.
But
Which
then that's what becomes a problem for a lot of restaurants and why they can't grow and scale
right.
because of
They don't
making
have
the
the brand.
owners,
Their people are the brand or something in particular
yeah,
is the brand that you can't
you can't replicate.
right.
And so and that's why I say, yes, I believe that restaurant owners should have a personal brand, but part of what that story needs to become, it needs to flow through the business brand as well.
Mhm.
And not enough of them do that. You know, when where are we coming from? But I forget, we were making one of the trips from Oregon to Texas and we were driving and we stopped at Tia Betty's.
Oh, and
And we looked around and we saw the things and we asked, it's like, okay, what's the story behind Tia Betty? Because it got to be a Tia Betty. Somebody got
Mhm.
Tia Betty.
Mhm.
And the cashier didn't know.
Mm-mm.
She's like, I don't know. I just work here.
They had to go get the owner, one of the owners,
Had to go get the owner. Had to go get Tia Betty's grandson to
to
tell
come
the
tell us the
story.
story. It's like it's a story that everybody should know.
Everybody, including your customers. Like
Mhm.
I say, we were passing through, but I never forgot Tia Betty's because we had some original shit there. And I
Yeah.
need to quit calling food shit, but that's just my word.
Please
But
do.
we had some amazing food there. What is it? The cornflower, blue something, blue flower, whatever.
Mhm.
But we had some amazing food. And talking to the owner and hearing the story of Tia Betty is what makes it memorable to me.
Yeah.
But what also makes it memorable is the fact that nobody in that fucking place knew the story except the owner's grandson or the Tia Betty's grandson.
The food I'll tell you how good the food was. We sat there, we had a whole meal
And
and,
for me,
and ate and got in the car and we were driving down the road and it finally occurred. We didn't have any meat
none.
the whole meal. And it didn't it never occurred to us because the food was good,
Yes.
which is unusual for us because we like our meat. We are meat people.
Yeah, we're carnivores. But
Mhm.
it's and that is one of the sad truths about restaurants. Like Sean, I love his whole vibe about his stuff because he supports the staff and the staff supports him.
Mhm.
And I don't know if there's a story to Cali barbecue or Cali comfort barbecue,
Mm.
but I do know that Sean has made it so that folks are loyal at least to him,
Yes.
and that includes his staff.
Mhm.
But I think if there was a story aligned with that we all knew, we could spread it even more. Because the story that I share is about Sean. It's not necessarily about Cali Comfort, Cali Barbecue.
Mhm.
So it's like if you can't find a way to turn your personal brand so that people turn around and look at your business brand, then that is why it's hard for people to exit their businesses. It's hard for them to leave because you've inserted yourself so much. Nobody wants to go there if you're not there.
Right.
We even had people once we put Morgan to work. Where's Morgan? I want her to take my order.
Mhm.
Seriously? Did you come in from Morgan or the food? If they came from Morgan, then we shit out of luck.
My daughter made more tips than anybody.
Oh my God. Being cute and 9 years old will get you paid.
Yep.
But like I say, you speak boo-boos and travel.
Yes.
And you do not have to try hard to speak boo-boos and travel.
No.
And if you find that natural cadence and use it to market in a way that you don't have to say, buy my shit, buy my voice, let me speak for you.
Mm.
But if you constantly tell stories and tie it to, this is what audio brand will do for you. We were both laughing earlier because of something that I wrote. And it's like our audio brand, when we first started, used to consist of Neil yelling, barbecue, barbecue, barbecue.
Yeah. Yep. That was us. Barbecue, barbecue, barbecue.
Yep. That was our audio brand.
Mhm. Started, yeah.
It's now that you've shifted gears. You can still be a part of the food, booze, and travel industries. You just get to do it with your voice. You get to do it with your stories. And You just make
Speaking of stories,
what?
we should probably mention that I have a new book out,
Oh,
Spice the Variety of Life.
and you ain't even got it. That's all right. I'll put a
That's because
flashback on it.
you put me in the garage. It ought to be sitting there on your desk.
You lucky. Don't knock no shit over. Ta-da!
That's my new book, y'all.
What's
Spice
his
the
new book?
Variety of Life, where I cover spices from around the world. Talk about where they originated,
Where I feel like
flavor
Vanna White are one
profiles,
of the
stories about them, and a bunch of beautiful art by our friends Vanya and Angela at the Shadow Legacy. Is that right?
Shadow Legacy,
That's right.
Phantom Beauty, and Shadow Leader.
They did some wonderful artwork in there. So beautiful. They put all that together for us, and that's Spice the Variety of Life, available on Amazon. You just look for the
Did you get
title.
your commercial in?
Look for my name, Neil P. Strawder, and I will pop up. I like the fact that we're authors.
I was not expecting to do an impromptu commercial for you.
Oh, hey! Ta-da!
Oh my goodness.
But the fact that we're authors is good to me, because you wrote a book. What's the title of your book?
I got books.
Why don't you have your book?
Man, don't play with me. Ta-da!
Not that one.
It's upside down. Ta-da!
Alice is bullshit. I'm talking about your brand new one.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Wait.
Your brand.
Ta-da!
Look at that. Oh, that is so beautiful.
This one was
Brandon.
by Vanya and Angela as well. They did my cover. They did the interior. This one was by what's my sweetie's name? Dan.
Okay. Hold that other one up
Okay.
because it didn't focus well. There you go.
You see?
Brandon, boundaries, and bullshit. And some other stuff down there at the bottom.
You know what? You're gonna have to read this one.
Why? I ain't trying to balance nothing.
That's why you're gonna read this book. Y'all, yeah, I ain't gonna go there because this ain't a husband and wife show.
No.
But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this.
Speaking of a husband and wife show, we're gonna have a new podcast coming out. You get to hear us, and it's not business. It's not us talking about our business. It's gonna be just us. It's gonna be called
Just trying to stay married today. Like
I'm
I'm
just-
trying to get off this show.
I'm just trying to stay married today. So,
But yeah.
you know, I've truly enjoyed sitting here talking to you on the screen,
Uh-huh.
and now it's about time for you to take the horn out your mouth.
I'm trying, and you keep talking like, oh, but wait, we wrote a book. Oh, but wait, you wrote a book. Can you let me finish?
Yes,
You sure?
yes. Brandon University. I don't even know what it is, but y'all need to get in it.
Brandon University is my extended version of hand holding and nurturing for brand babies who want to do more than just show up any kind of way. It's more than just being a brand, it's actually building a brand. And contrary to popular belief, you can scale from a personal brand. We just showed that with Big Mista. Big Mista was Neil's name. It was his personal brand and we grew it. But anyway, I'll tell y'all about that. Actually, I only have one spot left for a brand baby right now. So if anybody is interested, go ahead and hit me up and we can talk about it, see if you can get in where you fit in. How about that?
Yeah.
But
Buzzed and branded.
God, didn't you tell me to take the horn out of my mouth?
Okay. I'm just trying to make
Okay, let me tell y'all, Buzzed and Branded. Actually, I'm changing the name, baby. I wrote it down. I said Brandma's Bourbon and Branding.
Brandma blah.
Blah. Grandma's Bourbon and Branding. It's
We
my
love
understanding.
alliteration.
Huh?
We love
I
alliteration.
I do. But Grandma's Bourbon and Branding is a behind the scenes conversation I have with folks where we just shoot the shit. There is no charge, there is no fee. I limit it because being on Zoom, I want to be able to see everybody. I don't want to have to swipe. And the max that Zoom will let you see on one screen is like what, 45, 48 people. So I never go beyond that many people who can be in there. And we, like I said, we just talk and they may ask a question or two and that's fine.
Y'all should join for that.
Anything else that you want me
won't
to
be here.
mention?
I won't be there, but y'all.
No, he won't be there. Y'all, but y'all will see him bring me a drink or something. That's the only time I get to smoke my cigars in the house too.
Yep.
So anything else, Mr. Commercial?
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
You sure?
Are you? Don't do your counting thing with me, because.
I am gonna do it. Why you think
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do your countdown thing.
Y'all, and y'all, what? This is why we don't work together anymore. Yes, the content. What?
I'm pumping you up.
And I so appreciate you, baby. You have always been so supportive. Because when I decided I didn't want to work in the restaurant anymore, and I told Neil, he said, "Baby, I'm rolling with you." Dude has always been my ride or die, and all that good stuff. So it has never been a time where he hasn't supported me. And I thank you for supporting me on being one of the first to wrap up this particular season of the Brandma's podcast. And so you keep making me talk shit, and I keep forgetting what I want to say before I get out of here.
Do your count thing.
It wasn't a count thing, but I'm gonna count it down now because you keep interrupting me. Make sure. Let me run through my 57-year-old brain and make sure I didn't forget no shit. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell y'all. Before he told me to tell you guys about Just Trying to Stay Married Today, becoming a new podcast. You guys know I advocate for keeping my personal life and my personal brand separate. So when you see me on Just Trying to Stay Married Today, that is not the ghetto country grandmother. That is Phyllis. That is Neil's wife. That is the only thing that I am over there. Don't call it a brand, because I am not a brand. Don't get it twisted. That is our up close and personal shit of how we stay married today and have been doing it for the last 20-something years. All right, that's what I wanted to say. So now we can get out here. So 5, bullshit happens. So suck it up. 4, your voice is important. So speak up. 3, you make the world a more beautiful place. So show up. 2, life is good. So buck up. And 1, I love you and ain't a damn thing you can do about it. So shut the fuck up. Peace and hair grease, y'all.
All right, brand babies. We appreciate you stopping by because we know you got shit to do. Just remember to subscribe on your way out and bring a friend next time. In the meantime, and in between time, stay connected with your brand mother on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The links are in the description. And your grandmother wants you to remember that personal branding is not just personal, it's also business.